Okay. Hey guys, it's Kairi, and today we are going to be doing an April wrap-up. I read 9 books this month, 5 of which are physical books, I guess you could say, and 4 which were audio, because I love audiobooks. 9 books, that's a lot for me. I really just started reading in like February. Is the first, like, when I got into reading, so crazy. I think I read like 4 books in February, maybe more. I listened to a lot in February, but yeah, I loved all the books I read. I'm excited to tell you about them. All right, so we are going to start off with a series I started by Mary Lou. It is Legend. I have read the first 2 books in the series, Legend and Prodigy, and I have the third one. I am 133 pages into it, so yeah, I'm working on this one now. Anyways, these 2 books were really good. Let's start with the first one. I read this in technically 2 days, but I only read 20 pages the first day, and then I finished it all the next day. So this book's good. I really liked it. I gave it 5 stars, and I loved the plot of this book. The characters of the book was really good. There was a you could see the plot twist like building as the book went on, but like, what? Like, it was crazy. And the relationship between June and Day, like, I really loved how that blossomed. I do wish there was a little more knowledge when they were like working together out in the streets. That's not really a spoiler. And yeah, this book was really good. And the ending, Prodigy, I gave it 3.5. It was a good book, but one of the characters, Tess, I'm trying not to give any spoilers that'll spoil the first one. I just didn't like her character in this one. I loved her in the first one. This one, and just like how everything happens in this one, I didn't like it. And the ending, oh my gosh, the ending made me so mad. I wanted to throw this book across the room. Also, this was the third, I'll show you the first one. So this is the third book this is the third book that I tabbed. I'm new to tabbing. So this one I did all 1 color tabbing. And there's quite a bit in there. All right, that's Legend by Mary Lou. Oh gosh, this book was great. I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. It was the first book I annotated or tabbed, and it was great. I loved the characters in it. I loved how they did the storyline, the plot twist. The plot twist that one caught me off guard for sure. Like, I thought it was gonna happen, and then it never did, and then it did. Not when I expected. So that was really good. And then the characters. So this book sets in multiple POV. So it's Leah, which is the main character. She is a runaway princess. So she ran away from her betrothal, but she never met her betrothal. So she ran away, went to this little town, started working in a tavern for like staying in her barn or whatever. Anyways, there's these other 2 guys. One's name is Raph and one is Caden. One is the prince who she was supposed to betroth, and the other an assassin sent to kill her. And they don't know who each other is. Like, the guys know who she is because they tracked her anyways. But I love Raph. I have to say, I love Raph. I love him. He's the best. I love him. Man, this book, I have to tell you one of the quotes. Okay, wait. Okay. it says, "Some things last, the things that matter." He's so cute. We'll find out who says that later. I don't want to spoil it. This book, read this book. This book's amazing. 5 stars. Love it. Mary E. Peterson. I'm gonna read all her books. Next up, I read The Hobbit within a few months. This book was really hard for me to get through. It's really good, and I love fantasy, and I loved the movies of this one. But I was warned, and it's true, this is a really slow-paced book. There's a lot of description, which I like the description, but there is a lot in this book. It's really hard to get to know the characters, in my opinion. Like, you get to know Bilbo a lot, which is the main character. But like the dwarves, it's really hard to learn their personalities and whatever. I actually read this one for school for a book report, and it was really good. I did only give it a 3-star just because I liked the story. It was so long, so it was hard for me to finish it. So that's why I gave it a 3 stars. It took me a while to get through it. But I do want to read Lord of the Rings by J.R. Tolkien. This book was good. Give it a shot. Red Queen. I picked this up at Barnes & Noble thinking, I don't know what I was thinking. I grabbed it. It looked good. It sounded good. It was good. I gave this book a 5-star. I loved the storyline. Typical peasant girl gets picked up, brought to the palace, is now like, you know, living that life. This book is so good. So this book is in a world where there's silver bloods, which are the royals and the higher people, and red bloods, which are like humans, mortals or whatever, who are like the peasants, the workers, the servants. And it is about a girl named Mare. She is a red blood, and silvers also have powers, like different powers. Anyways, she is a red blood who is taken to serve in the castle or whatever, and during all this there's chaos and it's crazy. She finds out she has powers, so she is like this mixed, crazy, whatever. Anywho, she is part of a revolution that happens, and that's trying to happen, and just the relationships between the 2 brothers who are princes. I love how all that goes along. This book is heavily I'm just gonna say heavily tapped. It is, if we can get that, it is heavy. Lots. This book is so good. I'm so excited to start the next one, but I'm in the middle of Champion. I'm like, I just want to finish that series, so I can't start the next one, which I do have, which is Glass Sword. This book's betrayal, oh my word. The last like 100 or 50 pages is like mouth drop the whole time. It's just crazy, not expected at all. I knew there was betrayal involved, and there's betrayal like planning throughout the whole book, but the betrayal that happens is jaw-dropping. It's crazy. I don't know. This book, pretty good. Excited to see where it goes. And the like ending fight scene, I love fight scenes, and it was wonderfully written. Great written book. Loved the book. Go read it. So the next 4 books that I read is a series called The Hidden Mage. I read this series in January when I lost my grandpa. So this series has a really close place in my heart, and I love it. I reread it in a few days. It is an audiobook. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I have dyslexia, so I have a hard time reading books, but now I'm getting in the groove and figuring out how I like to read, what I like to read, and I'm being able to read them. But I do listen to a lot of audiobooks. So the first audiobook in that series is a Crown of Secrets, and this series is about a girl. She does not have powers, so it's in a world of mages, and all mages have powers, and her parents are like the most powerful mages in the country. And so her brothers are really powerful. Well, she was born with no powers. And it's school life, so each book is a different year at the school she's going to. And it's this relationship. She's going to the school in a different kingdom because the war just ended and they're trying to fix bonds and whatever. So she goes to this place and lots happens. Obviously, she finds out she has power, and each book is her learning how to use it without telling anybody. And the friendship between her and Bryony is, I love it. It's so good. I love it. There's a plot twist that happens like later in, like a whole series twist. It is just crazy. I not expected at all. I loved rereading this book. It's great. The school dynamic, loved it. Oh, there is a little bit of like, oh, what happened in these few weeks? But it's pretty well written, and I gave all of the books 5 stars. Even the second time I read them. I loved the series. It was amazing, and oh, the audiobook, I loved the audiobook. The reader is, her way of reading it is amazing. So I definitely recommend those books, and yeah, those were amazing books, and I am excited to reread them. This series is also like a second series that the author has written. Melanie Dickerson, I think is, yeah, so she wrote them, and she wrote a series called, the Spoken Mage series is about her mom, Vereen's mom, and that series is really good. I gave, I read this series first, The Hidden Mage, before I read the Spoken Mage, so some of the stuff that's in there that would be really good was, kind of spoiled for me, if that makes sense. The series was really good. I loved the love relationship between her mom and Lucas. I just loved it, and how the relationship grew, and how her mom's a common born, which were very looked down upon, and she ends up having powers that she can speak. So she's spoken mage, she's the first one of her kind. So everybody's like afraid of her, and she gets to go to the academy, and it's another like school, and it's just like rivals, and it's really good. Wars going on, so you see like a lot of the stuff that's like leads up to why there's a lot of anger in Hidden Mage, and they were both great series. I recommend you read both of them. They were wonderful. I loved them, and I read them all, 9 books in 2 weeks. They were great. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. I know this is a shorter video. I'm still getting used to making videos, so they'll probably be short and then work up, you know, all that jazz. But I really hope you like my video. Like and subscribe if you want. Don't have to, no pressure. I'm hoping to get more videos out soon, but this pile is not going on my bookshelf. Oh, is not going on my bookshelf. I know I read a lot of like first books this month. I think I read 3 of them, but I was really just trying to figure out what genre I wanted to read, what I wanted to read. I ended up liking all of the books I read. The Legend, Kiss of Deception, and Red Queen all got 5 stars. I had to continue the series, so a lot of the books I'm reading this month are like second or third book in the series, so I just hope they live up to the first one, and I'm so excited to get my TBR for May up for you guys. It's been good, so Love you guys. See ya. Bye-bye. Rap. Yeah? The spoken mage. Spoken mage.